What's going on, Melanated family? This is your boy Harrison, man, bringing you a brand new episode of my show, the Melanated Convo podcast. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Another week, we back at it. You feel me? A lot of stuff to talk about this week. If this is your first time tuning into the show, my name is Harrison. This is the Melanated Convo podcast. We talk about news stories here. We talk about important events that's going on in the melanated community. We also talk about black businesses. I think when we look at the amount of money that black people spend in this country, the amount of money that we spend with people outside of our community is extremely important to the health of our people, that we try to do a better job of supporting black businesses, finding out where the black businesses are. If we do rock with them, giving them good reviews, you know what I mean? All these things are extremely important to the health of our people. So I talk about black businesses, talk about news stories, I always have a topic of the day. Today's topic is hitting kind of close to home. I am in Sacramento, California. That's where I'm from. Over the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've had several senseless shootings in my community. So I want to talk to y'all about different ways we can remedy the hood, different ways we can kind of cure some of this nonsense that we have going on in our neighborhoods. And it's a convoluted topic, right? Because we know some of it's systematic, some of it is accountability issues. So we're going to get into all that today. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning into another episode of the show, man. Let's get everything going. So, the first thing I typically do on the show, and if you aren't aware of the platform is melanatedfathers.com. That's melanatedfathers.com. Under the video, you'll see all the information about the website. On my website, we talk a lot about history. We write articles about parenting. We have a lot of the news stories that I discuss here on the website. We have a book of the month. My platform, the overall platform, is Melanated Fathers of America, and the main goal of this platform is to provide a place for young fathers or just people in the community to go to where we can get resources about the different news that we have going on in our community, as far as the different issues that we face in the community and really important things that we need to talk about. Like I always say, it's nothing wrong with having fun. There's nothing wrong with letting your hair down. There's nothing wrong with going to the club. There's nothing wrong with watching funny videos. Like, we all need that balance. But at the end of the day, we need to talk about real shit too, right? So it's important that we always dive deep into those type of things. You feel me? So the first thing I do here is the black businesses. And like I always say, if any of you guys know a black business that has a website, because like I said, I'm in Sacramento, but I want to be able to provide their information and the services they provide to anybody in the United States. So preferably a company that has a website that's been up and running for a while and don't have no plans immediately of going under, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to promote your business here on the show, and then in 3 weeks or a month, I've told people to go to your website. Now they can't find it, or you know what I mean? That kind of thing looks bad on both of us. So, you know, if you know any qualified black businesses that need advertising right now, I am not charging for the advertising at all. It's completely free of charge. I just want to see my people win. You feel me? So let's get everything going, man. Like I said, I talk about 2 businesses per episode, and I do it 2 weeks in a row. So whatever business that I'm talking about, I'm going to give them 2 weeks worth of coverage, 2 weeks worth of advertising, completely free. You feel me? So let's get everything going. Last week we talked about this business, and I thought it was pretty interesting. We have a sister out of Sacramento, out of my city, named Toya Barnes. She's a part of a company called PureRomance.com. Now, at PureRomance.com, they do a few things. This is the women health and wellness company, where you can get, they sell bed and bath products. They sell a lot of intimacy products as well. So if you're in a relationship and you need to spice things up, if you are thinking about getting in a relationship and you want to figure out how to spice things up, this is a great website for you. We all, you know, if you're an adult, you're probably having sex, right? Let's keep it real. It's, if we're trying to keep our relationships sparked, if we're trying to do what we can to keep our other partner interested, intimacy products go a long way in getting that done for you, right? So at Pure Romance, not only can you find different creams to shave with for women, there is body sprays for women that kind of brings out your you know, your natural body odor, so you can be more enticing to your man. You feel me? There is irresistible fragrances, also designed to be like a magnet to the man in your life. Different nourishing lotions. There's lubricants for men and women. There's essential oils, invigorating your libido. There's several different books on wellness. There's bondage and role-playing material. There's lingerie on the website. So check it out, family. If you are in a position where you looking to spice up your sex life, if you're in a position where you're just looking to find a different way to approach the intimacy you and your partner is having, go to the website. You might find something that you like. None of us should be ashamed. None of us should be ashamed when it comes to purchasing products like this, because we all do this shit anyway. You feel me? So go to pureromance.com/Toya Barnes. My sister Toya Barnes has a stake in the company, so if you go under her name, anything you buy will go towards her. So that's pureromance.com/Toya Barnes. /Toya Barnes. Also keeping in mind that Toya told me to tell everybody that if you're a woman, you can join and you can become a CEO yourself, where you're basically selling these same products. So if you hit her on Facebook, Toya Barnes on Facebook, she has a Facebook group called Toys VIPs. That's TOYZ VIPZ. You can find that on Facebook. If you go to that group, she'll be able to give you information on how you can join, how you can become a CEO yourself, get your own products out there. And again, these are things that we all use anyway. And if you want to improve your sex life, if you want to improve your relationship with your partner, sometimes these type of products is what you need to get that done, family. You feel me? So go to pureromance.com/Toya Barnes. That's TOYA BARNES. That's Toya Barnes. So check my sister out. She'll have what you need. And again, man, it's lubricants, essential oils, lingerie, sex toys, whatever you need, right? And let's keep it real. A lot of us are using these things anyway. So if you can buy these same products from a sister, let's get that going. And like I said, man, I like to talk about a wide range of different black businesses. Some of them, like I said, some of them local, some of them not. It can be from clothes to insurance to different anything. We sell all type of products just like any other race of people. So I love when I have people giving me information about different types of black businesses, right? Not just clothes and different things like that all the time. So, excuse me, shout out to my sister Toya Barnes. Go to pureromance.com so you can get a bar of what she offering. You feel me? Now, next business that I want to talk about. This business is called Yellow Mountain Gardens. This is a couple out of Cashiers, North Carolina. And like I said last week, I had no idea where fucking Cashiers was, but you learn something new every day. Now, on their website, what they sell is soap. They sell different houseplants, real organic stuff. So they sell soap, houseplants, organic vegetables and flowers, different clothes and apparel. If you are a melanated person out there and you want to start your own garden, which eating healthy, growing your own food, even if some of us don't do these things, it's well known that this is the best way to live. Like we're all getting a little bit older. It's best to do what we can to preserve our life, eating certain type of meat, not exercising. We're aware that all this shit is bad for us, right? So here you can get your garden game popping. And I know a lot of people in my city who do something similar to this, and I salute that, man. You feel me? So this is a good way to get your garden game popping. They have house plants that you can start putting around your house, organic vegetables and flowers. Like I said, you want to go to Yellow Mountain Garden, yellowmountaingarden.com, yellowmountaingarden.com. If you go to yellowmountaingarden.com, you'll have a clear understanding of everything that they sell. If you are trying to get into starting your own garden and doing things like that, and you aren't aware of how to do it, just go to the website and hit them. Like I said, they also have books on the topic as well. I'm a big advocate of reading, so I enjoy seeing people putting their information in literary form. So go to yellowmountaingarden.com. That's yellowmountaingarden.com. You can get houseplants, organic vegetables and flowers. They have apparel as well. They sell books. If you are trying to get your first garden started and you have no idea how to go about doing it, go to the website. The brother and his wife will be able to walk you through the process. Again, family, let's support black businesses that are out here trying to do the thing the right way. Again, it's yellowmountaingarden.com. Go to the website today. Check out what they're doing. Now, that's it for the businesses. Let's go to the news stories for today. And actually, my first news story is similar to a business story. Where is it? All right, so my brother Killer Mike, many of you are aware of Killer Mike. He's a rapper from Atlanta, basically. Business owner, entrepreneur, but a rapper nonetheless. A real big advocate on behalf of black society, in my opinion, right? So Killer Mike has launched his own digital a digital banking platform for Black and Latinx people. Now, the name of the bank is called Greenwood, right? Named after Black Wall Street. I'll get into that in a minute. But he has a bank called Greenwood. It's the creation of him alongside Mayor Andrew Young and a entrepreneur and business owner, a brother by the name of Ryan Glover, who owned the Bounce TV network. And basically what they said in regards to why they started this bank, because again, this is really important to me, family, because all of us have a bank account right now. All of us are different. All of us are using different forms of banking. If you can circumvent them funds and put it to a Black bank, there is no reason in this world that you shouldn't do that, especially dealing with all of the shit that we've had to deal with. Everything that we go through in this country, if you are someone who does not like what you see, if you are someone who doesn't like injustices or any type of racism, there are several, and I keep saying this, family, but this is real shit, there are several ways that you can fight racism in this country, and one way is with your money. You feel me? That is a revolutionary act to purposefully spend your money with people who look just like you. That the money in our community does not circulate enough, and my brother Killer Mike goes into that. So he basically says today, a dollar circulates for 20 days in the white community, but only 6 hours in the Black community. He said a Black person is twice as likely as a white person to be denied a mortgage. This lack of fairness is the financial system. This lack of fairness in the financial system is why we created Greenwood. Now, Greenwood has announced plans to donate, and this is another big thing that I see here, plans to donate 5 free meals to families in need for every customer who signs up for their service, as well as donations to the NAACP, and more after every use of a Greenwood debit card, right? So also, a $10,000 grant for Black and Latinx small business owners will be given out on a monthly basis. So this is a big deal, y'all. I guess this is an extension of my Black business spotlight, but the online bank isn't up yet. It'll be up in January. You can go to bankgreenwood.com, bankgreenwood.com to register. So when they finally launch everything, they'll send you some information and let you know how you can become a member. And as far as the name of the company, it's important to note that the bank's name is derived from Greenwood, the Greenwood neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Many of you, if you don't know, in the early 1900s, this area became known as Black Wall Street because it was home to a thriving community of wealthy Black entrepreneurs. The community was eventually burned down by an angry white mob in 1921. But according to the rapper, the goal of the Greenwood Banks is to revive the spirit of the Oklahoma community by creating a fair playing field for Black and brown citizens. I am 100% with that, family. So like I said, I know we all have bank accounts now, but it's nothing for us to take a small amount of what we make, a small amount of what we've been saving, and infuse this into this bank, because like they're saying, they'll be more aware of our needs as a community. So when it comes to getting approved for a loan, when it comes to getting a mortgage, different things like that, it may be a little easier for you to get these things with this bank. Keeping in mind that they're only online right now, but Mike and the other entrepreneurs are mentioning how, of course, they want to bring it into a brick and mortar at some point. But as of right now, most of us just bank online anyway. You know what I mean? And with the service, there are like 30,000 ATMs that you'll be able to use. So it ain't like once they give you your debit card, you'll be bound to only a couple places. You'll have a wide array of different places that you can use with your debit card. So I'm fully behind that, family. So you can go right now. You can go right now to bankgreenwood.com. That's bankgreenwood.com. You can go there right now and you'll be able to sign up. So when they launch in January, you'll be one step ahead of the game. And I'm talking to all my melanated folks out there, man. Listen, we understand all of the fuck shit we've been going through this past year, this past 2 years, since we've been here, really. But they've been heating it up with all the police brutality and all the different shit that we've had to see in our community. I get that we don't like that. I get that it's uncomfortable. I get that it makes you outraged. But I'm constantly telling folks, what you gonna do about it? Now, you can place your hopes and your dreams into the hands of these politicians, but family, if we're looking at real change on the ground, real change, we're gonna have to do some of this shit ourselves. Just going behind a ballot box and placing your ballot and walking off and going back to your normal life where you don't do shit for your community, where you're not involved in any programs, you're not involved in mentoring, We got to get more involved as a people, family. It's 40 million plus of us in this country, and I'm starting to wonder how many of us really give a fuck about Black Revolution, right? So again, the election is coming up. I'm not big into telling people who to vote for. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I vote independent. If it's a presidential candidate that I don't trust, I ain't voting for any of them. That's just how I get down. Keeping in mind that there are several other things on the ballot. There are several propositions out there that you can lend your vote to that may do a great service in your community. So don't just think that it's about the presidential election when there are several ways to be effective in your community. It's not just about the Trump Biden thing. I know that's what we hear a lot, but let's be effective in a lot of ways, family. Let's be productive members of our community in any way we see fit, in any way that our whatever talents that we have, we should lend these talents to our community to make it a better place. Feel me? So go to bankgreenwood.com. That's bankgreenwood.com. I already went and signed up. When January come, I'm definitely going to have me a little bank account there, maybe bigger or small, I'm not sure yet, but I'm definitely going to rock with them. We all need to do that. Again, that's bankgreenwood.com, named after Tulsa, Oklahoma community, Greenwood neighborhood. That's beautiful. I rock with that. Now, what else am I going to say? Okay. Now, for the news stories, I'm moving kind of fast here, family, because I want to get to my topic of the day, which is healing the neighborhood. And I'm going to talk specifically about some incidents that have happened here in the Sacramento area where I'm from, and what I think as a community we need to do to remedy some of these situations, right? So let's get to the news stories. Now, oh, so this is some pretty weird shit that I found, and I want to know everybody's opinion on this type of thing. So, and this happened in Texas, right? And I'm not too sure if you guys have seen, there has been like this thing online where I've been seeing that white men get like this blackface costume almost. It's like a blackface mask that you can put on, and the shit look real. You know what I mean? So check it out. In Texas, a white man allegedly disguised himself in blackface and donned a fake beard to kill the mother of his daughters, authorities say. Now, Andrew Charles Beard, 33-year-old white man out of Texas, of Rowlett, Texas, turned himself in this week in the murder of his 1-year-old daughter's mother, Alyssa Burkett, the Dallas Morning News reported. Now, he is accused of shooting and repeatedly stabbing the 24-year-old to death as she arrived at her job in Carrollton on October 2nd. Now, officers arrived to find Burkett suffering from a gunshot wound to her head, in addition to multiple stabbing injuries, and being treated by co-workers, right? Now, Two bystanders told the authorities that the assailant was a black man, and the police later discovered that the man had on dark face makeup and a fake beard, and they kind of found this information in his car, right? So he's gonna be charged, he's gonna go to jail. But here's the bigger topic to me, right? Because I researched this a little bit, and it's been 2 or 3 different incidents where either someone has did a crime or done something where they're parading around in this blackface shit, right? So the first question I'll be having is, now I understand how blackface was used traditionally to make fun of us, basically. The first form of entertainment in this country, if you guys didn't know, was blackface, like white men perpetrating lazy black people as a form of satire comedy almost, you know what I mean? But in this situation, this makes me think, right? Because of course, this guy was caught. There was another guy who robbed a bank a couple years back in blackface. When they looked at the tape and everything, they seen that his hand was white here. So they kind of got an idea of who he really was and was able to arrest his ass. You know what I mean? But I be thinking, man, look, what if a lot of the murders, because we look at Chicago and we look at other places around the country that is kind of flooded with the murders that they have and all the crime and different shit that go on. I'm wondering, how many of those crimes maybe was by somebody white who actually had on some blackface shit? I'm not going to think that these incidents that we've seen or that's been coming out in the news are the only incidents where this possibly happened. Now, I'm got my conspiratorial shit on right now, but what if it's been longer than that? What if white men are actually out here doing crimes a lot where they got on this whole blackface shit, right? So we need to be aware of this shit as black people and be aware of how different caricatures of us can be used to do crimes and shit. You know what I mean? Because look, like I said, if you look at Chicago and it's 50 murders in a weekend, 70 murders in a weekend, my thought process behind that, of course, I want my people to be accountable. And if we're out here murdering people, if it's black folks, you got to go to jail. You got to go to jail. Now, of course, I understand um, the systematic indifferences that we've had to face in this country that puts some of us in a position where you need to do crime or you need to do some fuck shit, right? But at the end of the day, 30, 40 murders in a weekend and you're not catching nobody? Like you don't have a way to get clues on where things is gonna happen and like do some police work to stop some of this shit. That's my opinion. If you're in a city and you're the governor of the city, of the mayor of the city, the police chief of a city, and you have this many murders on a weekend, this should cause for you to be alarmed, right? This should cause for you to be alarmed to the point where you're gonna figure something out. Okay, how can we curve this? Now, if 30 or 40 white people were getting killed in the weekend, it's my understanding, it's my belief that they're gonna step in immediately. No, no. Y'all not gonna be killing each other like this. Let's put different things in play, right? So when I see all these murders every weekend, and this ain't really in other cities besides Chicago. And maybe y'all can correct me on that, but I haven't seen any other city besides Chicago have that amount of murders in one weekend per se. So I'm thinking, damn, is that just us? Are we that prone to violence? Are the police antagonizing some of this shit? I seen a video maybe a couple years ago of an undercover cop in Chicago shooting at people. Like he was behind his undercover car while the car was rolling a little bit. He was shooting at motherfuckers. Jump back in the car and bounce. So of course, small clip of a video, could be anything. But I'm thinking like, was that a part of something bigger? Was there more going on? Do y'all antagonize some of this violence so the shit can keep going? Keeping in mind that Chicago is probably one of the most segregated cities in the United States. You know what I mean? Just something to think about, family. So when I see stories about white men wearing blackface to do crimes, I'm like, I don't put that past a cop to put on some blackface regalia, to put on some blackface shit and go do something out there. And just like some of these witnesses said, they had cameras on this dude so they could see his hands and all this kind of shit. But what if you do some shit at night? What if you're a white person in blackface that do some shit at night? You can get away with that shit, family. They ain't gonna be able to see your hands or see any inconsistencies of your blackface shit. So that's something to think about, man. When we look at how prone to violence people say we are and all the negative shit we do in our communities, I think it's important sometimes to take a step back and say, okay, are we really doing this? Are we this violent? Do we have motherfuckers helping us out? You know what I mean? And to me, I could be wrong, but to me, this was revealing to me. To see that there's white men out here putting on blackface, because I seen like a Facebook post about it, and I didn't know how real it was. I didn't know what was the point. Is it for Halloween? Well, like, what do you actually, why are you putting this shit on? You know what I mean? So to find out that some white men are doing crimes in it and trying to get away with crimes, like doing a crime of murder, that's serious, and it's also showing how Caucasian people understand how police view us. See? They understand that I can put on this blackface shit and it'll be just another nigga who killed somebody. I'll have the police running around in circles, harassing innocent black men, thinking they were the culprits of some of these crimes. You see what I'm saying? So just like the Karens do, a lot of Caucasian people in this country understand how law enforcement views us, and they use this shit to their advantage. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? All right. So, got through the businesses, got through the, let me see here. Got through the news stories pretty quickly. You feel me? Now, this is the main thing that I want to talk about today, family. So let me read y'all the report. So if you're not in Sacramento, over the weekend of October 2nd, 2 weeks ago, we had maybe 12 people get shot in one weekend, right? So, let me read the news story to you. So multiple people were shot in Sacramento on Saturday in 4 separate shootings, according to law enforcement. 12 people were shot in separate shootings. Now, one of the shootings, which is really, really heartbreaking, and one of the reasons why I want to talk about this today, because, you know, we got to figure something out, y'all. So one of the shootings left a 9-year-old girl dead. I think her name was Michaela. Like, R.I.P. to that young sister, man. That's beyond tragic to hear that news, right? Now, she was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting during a family gathering near Mama Mark's Park on Saturday around 1 p.m. according to the Sacramento Police Department. Now they found 3 victims while responding to the reports of a shooting at Hayward and Roanoke. The 9-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene. A woman and a 6-year-old child, y'all. So these niggas is out here shooting wildly in the park or wherever, and they actually hitting our babies. You feel me? Now, the 6-year-old child was taken to hospital. I think she's gonna live and everything's gonna be okay with her. The woman is in critical condition while the child is described as stable. Police says officers learned that a man who was shot drove himself to a local hospital. This is all the same situation. He is stable, but it's unclear if he is connected to the actual park shooting. Another disheartening situation, a 17-year-old brother in the second shooting, a 17-year-old brother was found shot and killed in a car by Sacramento police officers on Saturday around 3:30 p.m. Officers responded, to the 83rd block of Jackson Road after reports of a car crash into a pole. Officers discovered the driver was shot at least once. Officers tried to save him, but he died at the scene. Now, in kind of a side note, this is something that wasn't necessary, to my understanding, wasn't necessarily something that happened in our community, but it was a travesty nonetheless. Now, another shooting happened at an Afghan market in the Arden Arcade area. A gunman shot shoppers inside the East Market in restaurant before turning the gun on himself, and this is according to the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department. 3 people were injured and taken to a local hospital, and the gunman died at the scene. Now, in a 4th shooting, 3 people were injured in North Sacramento and taken to a local hospital. Sacramento police said they found a woman and 2 men with injuries around 6:45 p.m. Excuse me, family, near the 3400 block of Maple Street on Saturday. 1 man is in critical condition, while the other 2 are considered stable. Police do not believe the incident is connected to the other shootings. Okay, so this is what I want to get into. This is like the crux of what I want to talk about today, family. So here's the thing. This is happening in my city right now. Unfortunate. Community organizers and people who believe in doing the right thing have been coming out and marching, protesting, trying to create programs to kind of get rid of this. The officials in the Del Paso Heights area where where the little girl was shot, they were mentioning how they are going to attempt to use the political system to get a park, like a community center in that area, or more things for kids to do, right? So from a systematic perspective, I guess they're attempting to right some of these wrongs by correcting the system, giving us more resources, right? So when I look at all of this, look, family, we need to understand that the tribal differences that a lot of these gangs have been going through, because I see people tell me, well, with everything going on with George Floyd and the police brutality and how we're being treated by cops right now, how can these young dudes even fix their face to be doing all this violence and fighting? I'm like, man, look, we have a silent war, this is my opinion, like a silent war against melanated people in this country. But the gangs in our communities have been going to war for a pretty long time themselves, right? I mean, so when we look at a lot of these young dudes, and I want to preference this before I kind of go in, we look at a lot of these young dudes, and a lot of them are absent of fathers. A lot of them are absent of the necessary resources, like the community was saying. We need to get more resources there to them. A lot of them had to deal with just horrible childhoods, right? Keep it in mind, and we can never take this off the table. Keep it in mind that we can't discount the systematic issues that we still deal with today. Like the prison industrial complex, I just mentioned that some of these young men don't have fathers. A lot of their fathers are in jail for crimes that maybe they should have went to jail for, but maybe not have gotten life. Some of these dudes got fathers who were victims of the war on drugs. So they may have had 2 really serious offenses and got felonies, and that 3rd offense that wasn't as serious ended up getting them life in prison, right? We all know. I read a story last week about a Harvard study that basically showed the amount of Caucasian people that are in jail compared to us. Like we're disproportionately affected by the criminal justice system, right? Everybody understands this. So we need to. I'm not just gonna come down on my young brothers completely when I'm aware of some of the situations that cause them to get in the circumstances they're in now, right? So I completely understand that, and I try to be as understanding of that and it's diplomatic when it comes to those issues as much as possible, because my brothers, different men that I know a lot of men who've been affected by the criminal justice system. Some did shit wrong, some of them unfairly, but when I think about it, even some of the dudes who did stuff wrong, I mean, they were coming from environments where they had no resources, where they didn't really have parents that looked after them, right? So we have it's a real convoluted issue with the police and with black community in general. But at the end of the day, check it out, family. This is how I feel about it now. With everything I just said being the truth, in 2020, we need to figure out a way to stop this shit. Like in 2020, of course, we can decide that we want to use the political system to help us out. Like we want to vote in the right person. We want to go to our city officials and see what they can do to help out. We're never going to remove that avenue from being effective, or if they want to help or whatever the case may be, right? But in my opinion, family, if we're going to stop all these killings, if we're going to stop all this violence, this shit has to be done with us. This shit has to be done with our community, because, of course, seeing these young people get killed, when I go to social media, when I go on the internet, I'm seeing the outrage, right? How none of us like this shit. Everybody is completely against the killings. Everybody's talking about the young dudes who did it, all this shit, right? But at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we have this same mentality all year round, family, because we can't negate the fact that nigga shit, like hood shit in our community, that shit's glorified. Let's keep it real. Young dudes who pack guns, young dudes who got a whole bunch of tattoos, young dudes who got their pants hanging down their fucking ass. Some of these young men get glorified in our community. So I need everybody out there to keep this same energy all year round. So when we see a young man, when you know a young man in your community doing wrong shit, whether he your family or not, if you know he's selling dope, if you know he packing a gun and up to no good, how many of us are not confronting him, but coming to this young brother and saying, look, man, I understand what you've been through, but some of this shit gotta stop. How many of us are fully engulfed in allowing our kids to consume any type of hip hop they want to? See? So yes, these young men need to be held accountable. Our politicians need to be held accountable. The systematic racism needs to be put in there as well. But at the end of the day, we need to be accountable for this shit, family. We need to realize that, look, I'm a part of this community, and if I'm glorifying any of the negative traits that put us in these situations, I'm a part of the fucking problem. I had to realize this. Look, my 4 older kids were not raised with me. They were raised in their mom in the south side of Sacramento around a whole bunch of negative shit, right? In my opinion, allowing them just to consume hip hop freely was a mistake. A lot of the music that our children is listening to begets some of this same goddamn behavior. So we can't hear them listening to this music, smiling and smoking weed and chilling, and then when some negative shit pop off, we want to get all upset about it. We want to throw our hands up like, how can this happen? I'm not going to let us, we know how the shit happened. You feel me? Another thing, look, a part of my platform, Melanated Fathers of America, is talking about parenting. It's talking about how to parent right. In my opinion, and I keep saying this, how we start our families is a part of this fucking problem, y'all. Yeah, we got systematic issues. Yeah, it's hella shit that's been going happening to us for years, but we have a say in this shit. And so at the funeral home my family owns, all too often, I see young dudes come in there. They was unfortunately shot by somebody else, somebody in their family, whatever the case may be. And I see the parents, and the parents ain't too far off from the kid. The parents still talking nigga shit. The parents still got that hood ass mentality, right? So yeah, again, politicians can come in and help us out. We can ask for different people outside of the community to help us out. But how many of us are focusing on raising our kids the right way? Because in my opinion, when we talk about, and I don't know any of these young dudes personally who out here doing these crimes or out here shooting each other, in my opinion, it's either over money, respect, a woman, ego, those type of issues, right? But I'm wondering, how many of these young dudes got 2-parent homes? Let's talk. How many of these young dudes got a stable environment where it's a mom and a dad who work, regardless of the jobs, but they trying their best to put their best foot forward? How many of these dudes actually come from that type of environment? You know what I mean? I would say 10, 15%, maybe, if that. I would say most of these young dudes come from broken homes. Most of these young dudes come from environments where there was no resources, right? They're turning to the gang because that's their family, because they haven't been able to connect with a larger part of their own family. They don't feel no togetherness with their own family. So how can we stop that? That's not a police problem. That's not a police problem. That's not something you can just add a fucking community center and think that's going to change. Because, yeah, we need community centers and resources so the kids can play places, so they can have safe places to go. But the safest place you're supposed to be able to go is your house, family. That's the safest place you're supposed to be able to go. Right? So if we want to end this shit, because I'm tired of seeing a person post how upset they are about the killings, then the next 2 days you back to posting nigga shit. The next 2 days you back to I'm hearing the rap in the background where your daughter dancing and it's talk about nigga kill a motherfucker, nigga kill a motherfucker. Whoa. Whoa. We can't be hypocrites like that, family. We can't be hypocrites like that. I see too many parents who raise a kid and didn't do a good fucking job. You didn't provide them resources. You was on drugs yourself. You didn't provide them a stable environment. They had to live with their grandma. They had to live with their auntie. And you surprised he out here shooting motherfuckers? Right? So when are we gonna step up as parents, as black folks, and you see a person in your neighborhood, you see a person in your family that's not doing a good job with their kids? How many of us say something? How many of us say something? How many of us called him to the table and said, man, look, I know you love him, but make sure his teeth is brushed. Make sure he get up in the morning for fucking school. Make sure you're not spending over $150 on some shoes that he can't even fucking spell. He can't even read. But you're spending $150 on some shoes? Family, we got some shit we need to take care of. Period. Some of this shit, people outside of our community is not going to be able to fix it. It's on us. It breaks my goddamn heart to see a 9-year-old girl. What's wrong with niggas? Y'all just going to the park shooting aimlessly? That's some sucker shit anyway. That whole drive-by shit, that's some sucker shit. You know who you want, nigga? Go get him. Go get him. What's in the minds of our young people to have these If you ever shot a gun, if you're an adult who ever shot a gun, that's a violent fucking action. Period. No matter how small or big the gun is, that shit is violent. And we cool with this shit? Look, I'm the biggest proponent of talking about systematic racism. I know it's here. I know it's here to stay damn near. I get it. But sometime, we got to look at each other. Sometime we got to look at each other. Some of these neighborhoods have been warring with each other, and I already prefaced this by saying I understand it to a degree, but some of these neighborhoods have been warring with each other for decades, right? When are the parents in that environment, the adults in that environment, are going to say, look, I'm going to do my best to raise my kids and be here, and then when they become young adults, I'm going to make sure they do it the right way. I'm going to make sure they value their life. I'm going to make sure they read about history. I'm such a big proponent of history because to me, that's how I became elevated mentally. That's how I start loving all y'all, is by learning fucking history. Learning how important we've been to this country. Learning all the great shit that we've done in this country. Some people see that as a non sequitur. Like, that shit don't matter. You got to get money out here. No, it does matter. Your fucking mind matters. Your mind matters. If you don't love you, how you gonna love me? Huh? If you don't love you, how the fuck you gonna love me? So we need to be in our communities. Yes, I'm never gonna tell nobody not to march, not to have the rallies, not to do all this shit. But in my opinion, I respect anybody that takes their time to fight injustice, regardless of how they do it. But marching, protesting, we gotta curb some of that shit a little bit, because to me, that's not going to help. People know what we're up against. People know how systematic racism works. People know we be on shit we be on bullshit in our neighborhood sometime. We ain't gotta go announce it. We ain't gotta go announce it and put a sign out and ask for help. We need to go in our communities, like a lot of organizations in Sacramento are doing, and talk to these parents, talk to these young people who are 13, 14, 15, who haven't had kids yet, and make sure they understand the importance of life. Make sure they understand the importance of their future. Make sure they understand the importance of things that are substance, not fucking shoes. See? Because I'm not going to put all this shit on the system. I'm not gonna put all this shit on people outside of our communities. Look, when I go to some of the communities in my city, the people there make it what it is. Nobody's telling you to park your goddamn car on the grass. Nobody's telling you not to pick the trash up around your shit. You see, these are personal things. We need to create structure in our homes, family. Some of us aren't gonna be in homes that have a mom and a dad. I get that. But why the fuck not? Let's ask ourselves that. Why not? My opinion? We just fucking. That's why. That's why. We just fucking. We know somebody may not be good for us, but so what? It feels good, right? That's some bullshit. That's a part of these fucking murders, right? Everybody's saying, oh, stop it, please. I want y'all to stop it. Everybody's black on black crime. Okay, look, cool. I'm with you. What are you doing to participate or help this situation? You personally, not a politician, not somebody outside of your community. What do you do? Do you have a young cousin who sell dope and you buy weed from him? Huh? Do you have a young cousin who sell dope, but because he fly, because he got a nice ass car, you don't say shit to him? Huh? You got a young family member who know packing a gun, but because you see him smiling and laughing and you know him since he was a kid, you think it's cool? You pulling him to the side and say, what the fuck are you doing? Huh? We gotta police our own community to a degree here, y'all. Again, look, we've been failed by this system. This system has failed us, flat out. But have we helped? Have we helped? We fucking help. We help every day. So when there's no murders going on, excuse me, the majority of the information I see online, not everybody, I'm never speaking in absolutes, there's a whole bunch of nigga shit going on. Whole bunch of dancing, whole bunch of partying, whole bunch of styling, right? Whole bunch of talks of a great life, right? I got money. I'm doing this. I'm balling. I'm doing that. Look, man. What's going on in my city is happening in all cities across the country. But I'm so sick of motherfuckers talking about these particular issues like it's in a vacuum. Voting for Donald Trump or Biden, both of them have put forward particular things they say they're going to do for the black community. Me personally, I don't believe either one of them. I don't trust them. As men, I don't trust them. So I can't vote for them. But here's the thing. If you find out somebody not voting, like for the presidential election, so what? What else are they doing? Do you volunteer in your community at all? Do you mentor somebody that's younger than you? Do you make sure you do some revolutionary shit by just making sure your family's together? Do you make sure when you have a baby or you reproduce with somebody that you really love them, that you really in it to be in a stable relationship with them, or don't do it at all? You see what I'm saying? There are things that we can do as a community starting today to change some of this shit. First thing, raise your fucking kids, man. Can't nobody tell me no different. Ain't no 17, 18-year-old with a firm, structured household shooting up nothing. That's rare, family. That's rare. That's rare. Now, yeah, our communities has got all this kind of shit going, but what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Keep complaining? Wait for some politicians to come in there and change some shit? Newsflash, family, that shit ain't going to happen. We going to have to change it. Starting with the parenting. That's how it starts. Why would a 17 or 18-year-old, a 19-year-old human being fire a semi-automatic weapon at another human being? Something's going on there. Flat out. Something's going on there. So if you had kids when you were young and you wasn't really thinking about it, you better rectify that shit. You better talk to your kids and let them know, hey, I know I fucked up in a particular way, but I'm here for you now. I'm gonna be here for you now. How can I help you? How can I be of service to you? You need money. You need me to help you find a job, but that shit you doing, you gotta stop that. We need to start thinking about everybody when things happen, not just your family. When you got a young man in your family who you know be on some negative shit, that's just not gonna hurt your family. That can hurt a 9-year-old girl. You see? If we allow these young niggas to run rampant now, every young dude ain't gonna listen. I get that. And we don't gotta be like a disciplinarian or like an authoritarian type figure. You ain't gotta do that. But if you say nothing, you're a part of the problem. Right? If you say nothing, you're a part of the problem. I don't give a fuck how much you know a young dude. He your son, he your brother, he your cousin. If you know he in the streets causing havoc, you gotta say something to him. You got now again, not on some disciplinary shit. Try to help him. Let's get you a job. We got too many young men out here who view working. Let's keep it fucking real. Who view working, who view having a job as some square shit. They view that as some sucker shit. Where did they get that from, man? Who gave them the idea that the only way to make money as a black man is on some hustling shit? A part of that is the music. A part of that is some of the elders they've seen. So we got to be realistic that everything we do ain't good for us, man. So we can't grieve motherfuckers who done got killed and then 5 days later back to doing nigga shit. Right? So that's what you need to ask yourself as a melanated person in America. What can you do to help your community today? Voting, small part of the piece, family. Small part. Everybody want to argue about Joe Biden and fucking Trump? Fuck both of them. What are you doing today for your community? You volunteering? You starting an organization? You being a part of an organization? You speaking truth to power to kids? You mentoring kids? What are you doing to help out? Because if you like me, and you don't like the fact that a 9-year-old girl was shot in a drive-by, another 6-year-old girl was fucking hit, if you don't like that, what are you going to do about it? Complain? Say we need to get it together. We need to, you know how you know the biggest way to start a revolution is with yourself. It's with yourself. It's what you can do personally to upend some of these situations. And if you have family members, young family members who are in the street culture, you have an obligation to talk to them about the seriousness of their impact on all of us. That looks, to me, that reflects negatively on all of us. We're one community. We can't be, when somebody does something great, we can't say he's a part of the black community. Then when somebody do some fuck shit, we say, oh no, that's a one-off. He over there, he don't represent us. Yeah, he do. Yeah, he do. His mama, his daddy come from this community. Yeah, he do. He listens to the same hip hop we all listen to. Yeah, he do. He got Jordans on his feet. His value is based in what he has on his body instead of what he got in his mind. We're all part of that. Fuck that. We're all part of that. So today, we all need to start thinking differently, right? Once you change your mind, your actions is going to follow. So parents with little bitty kids, you can start this process. Are you reading to your kids? Are you making sure if they want something that's of value, you making sure they work for it? And let's say they want some Jordans or some Nikes. Are you showing them we going to get the shoes, but we going to put some money into Nike stock as well? What are we doing for the future? I'm not just going to sit here and keep complaining about what these young niggas is doing when we the problem. This shit ain't just on no system. Nah. Yeah, they need to know their history. Yeah, they need to be aware of the pitfalls that have been put in play by their system. Yeah, they do. But what you're doing as a parent, to me, and I always say this, a household is like a small country, family. There's rules, there's regulations, there is someone that's a ruler, there's a structure, plan in place or not. And to me, this is where the child gets their temperament from, their fucking house. So how many of us are making sure that we do a lot of things the right way in our house? Correct structure, bedtime, grooming, making sure we're teaching our kids how to groom themselves, making sure we care about school, making sure we're not just sending them to school, making sure we checking their grades, we checking with their teachers, we're being involved as possible. It's of my belief, family, that if you have a kid who has an extremely involved two-parent home, he not shooting nobody. He not thinking about shooting nobody. So this shit is up to us. This shit is up to us. In Del Paso Heights, where the 9-year-old girl was shot, they are looking at different systematic ways to embark on change. And I'm with that. Anybody who wants to come and help out with the system, Republican, Democrat, I don't care about none of that shit when it comes to these babies. So yeah, help us out. But black folks, melanated people, what the fuck are we gonna do, man? Generation after generation, we have been going through a lot of the same pitfalls in our communities. And yes, People outside of our community has been the spearhead for a lot of these dysfunctions, but we need to get better at taking the reins. Nobody's making you have a baby illegitimately. Now, I get it, the psychology of it. Maybe you didn't have a mom or a dad, so you want a young person to love you. You not having a mom or a dad, that can very well be based on the system. That could be based on them being a victim to the war on drugs. This could be them being a victim to the prison industrial complex. I get it. I get it. So we need to learn these things, but not use them as an excuse. You see, learn what has happened to us, learn where the pitfalls have been, but we can't use them as an excuse. Once you know better, you're supposed to do better. So as parents, as black people, when all because the murders, what happened a couple weekends ago, in my opinion, was kind of rare in our communities. There's been murders here and there, but the way that happened, it was real fucked up, y'all. But again, what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do personally? What are you gonna do personally in your personal life that's gonna that's gonna affect all of us in a positive way? Because there are things that you can do. You feel me? So this has been another episode, man, of the Melanated Convo podcast. I just want to get that off my chest. I love my people. To see my people going through all this strife and this strain, seeing this little girl's grandmother cry, this shit hurts my heart, y'all. That we have young people treating our community the way they do. But what are we gonna do, family? We need to figure out the best way possible that we can help out, that we can be advocates for change. It's a lot of people in my city that I see doing good work and putting their best foot forward to help us all, but it has to be more of a team effort. You can't just post shit on social media then go back to living your regular life. Whatever you do good, whatever you're good at, whatever you're known for in your neighborhood, in your house or whatever, see if you can use that talent to help the community. See if you can use that talent to uplift young people around you, because it's gonna take all of us. Like that, it takes a village to raise a, that's some real shit, family. So I'm not just gonna discount these young men like they heathens and they need to be put in jail. And yeah, you kill somebody, you need to go to jail. But we need to do some diagnosis and see, okay, what made him that way? It didn't just happen. It didn't just happen, right? Because white kids in white communities, they not really prone to violence like that. The shit they have to deal with ain't even on the same scale as what we got to deal with. So we need to equip ourselves with the knowledge of knowing that we've been put into ghettos, that we've been placed in the particular communities that we're in. It's not a happenstance that we in ghettos the way we are. We was fucking put there. But what are we gonna do about it? How are we gonna change the minds of those young people? Because some of these young people is a part of our warrior class. Some of these young people got more heart than some of you old niggas would ever have, right? But we need to channel that into something positive. We need to channel that into a business, channel that into helping other people. We need to channel the energy of these young people so they can stop being so violent towards each other, right? Because ain't no young nigga out here shooting no cop. He ain't that stupid, see? He not that stupid. He ain't shooting no cop. We ain't had one cop that shot one of our people get killed by a hood nigga just on some random shit. Nah, we know who to fuck with. See, we know who in our community we can actually, and you know, most crime is actually done in the community that you're in anyways, but still, we know who to fuck with. I'm not telling nobody to go out there and be violent towards anybody, but we gotta stop killing our own. You feel me? So this has been another episode, man, of the Melanated Convo podcast. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the show. If you want to catch the show, you can go to Melanated Fathers TV on YouTube to check it out. You can also go to, well, anywhere podcasts are aired. All the DSPs. You can go to iTunes. You can go to Spotify. You can go to Google Podcasts. or wherever podcasts play, you can check out the show there. This has been another great episode, man. I'm your boy Harrison. Go to the website as well, melanatedfathers.com. Check out a lot of the things that we do on the website to improve the community. This has been another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. I'm out.